chosen a song by 10 years after, a British band, British blues rock band, and this is from their album Cricklewood Green, and the title of the song is Love Like a Man, but it really is a vehicle for one Alvin Lee, who was the lead singer, writer and guitar player in this band. Some of you might remember 10 years after's absolutely tremendous performance at the Woodstock Festival with on the movie I can recall Lee singing Coming Home. Well, anyway, this, as I say, is a 7-minute version of this song. It was released as a single, but I prefer the long version. And the guitar exuberance from Lee is quite evident in this particular track. A fast and poetic solo, I've described it as, and it's absolutely pure guitar talent to a hypnotic beat and the vocal. The solo starts at 3 minutes and goes through to the conclusion. The lyric, not much. I'll just read briefly. You roly-poly all over town, but you come on back to me. When things are down, love like a man, love all you can. Your satisfaction is growing less if you come on back to me. Use my address and let you love like a man, love all you can. You are the woman you can't deny. You look so good to me, girl. You make me high. Yeah. Simple sort of stuff, but great guitar work.
It's a song from an album by Elton John called Tumbleweed Connection. I did do a part review on this, and I did comment on this particular track, which is my favourite from the album. It's called Burn Down the Mission. 6 minutes and 35, and inspired him, really, based on survival and escape. And the way Elton incorporates the fast rocking sections right inside the slow ballad parts is extraordinary. So they don't have any seams is a marvel to the ear and the talent of the man. The piano sets up the religious tone and the beat saunters into the chorus effortlessly. It then rocks with those horns to boot before recycling the ballad mood. Extract then of Bernie Taupin's lyric. You tell me there's an angel in your tree. Did he say he's come to call on me? For things are getting desperate in our home, living in the parish of the restless folks I know. Everybody now, bring your family down to the riverside. Look to the east to see where the fat stock hide. Behind 4 walls of stone the rich man sleeps. It's time we put the flame torch to their keeps. Burn down the mission if we're going to stay alive. Watch the black smoke fly to heaven. See the red flame light the sky. Burn down the mission, burn it down to stay alive. It's our only chance of living. Take all you need to live inside. Nice extract. Great song from a great album. Enjoy. It's probably my favourite song from the year. It's by the Byrds, and it's the absolutely extraordinary song Chestnut Mare, with that unforgettable hook, an amazing story, and rhythmically as good as a Byrd song could sound. And I'm going to make no apologies for getting into this lyric. It's an absolutely beautiful lyric written by Roger McGuinn, and here it goes. Always alone, never with a herd, prettiest mare I've ever seen. You'll have to take my word, I'm going to catch that horse if I can. And when I do, I'll give her my brand. Well, I was up on Stony Ridge after this chestnut mare. I'd been chasing her for weeks. Oh, I'd catch a glimpse of her every once in a while, taking her meal or bathing, a fine lady. This one day I happened to be real close to her and I saw her standing over there. So I snuck up on her nice and easy, got my rope out and I flung it in the air. I'm going to catch that horse if I can, and when I do I'll give her my brand, and we'll be friends for life. She'll be just like a wife. I'm going to catch that horse if I can. Well, I got her and I'm pulling on her and she's pulling back. I like this mule going up a ladder, and I take a choice and I jump up on her. Damned if I don't land right on top of her. And she takes off, running up on the ridge, higher than I've ever been before. She's running along just fine till she stops, and something spooked her. It's a sidewinder, all coiled and ready to strike. She doesn't know what to do for a second, but then she jumps off the edge, me holding on above the hills, higher than eagles were gliding, suspended in the sky, over the moon, straight for the sun we were riding. My eyes were filled with light, behind us black walls, below us a bottomless canyon, floating with no sound. Gulls far below seemed to be suddenly rising, all exploding all around. I'm going to stop there. There's a bit more to come, but I don't want to bore you. But it is an extraordinary piece of music and an extraordinary lyric. Just get to listen to it. Chestnut Mare, The Birds, 1970, the album Untitled. Include this. It's from Live at Leeds, The Who, and it's the live version of My Generation, 13 minutes long or something. It's got such a monstrous guitar burst from Townsend that epitomised how heavy The Who were, although many thought they were just a pop singles band. But no, this is awesome stuff. Get to listen to it. No lyric excerpt here. Just a monstrous live guitar song, and I love it. Now I'm going to move on to Domino, another Van Morrison song from the other album, the Choir album. The title escapes me. Oh, The Street Choir, that's it. A cracking tune. Swings, it moves, it sounds full of beans, and a great opener to that album. Here's a bit of the lyric. Don't want to discuss it. Think it's time for a change. You may get disgusted, start thinking that I'm strange. That case, I'll go underground, get some heavy rest, never have to worry about what is worst or what is best. Oh, Domino, roll me over, Romeo. There you go. I said, oh, Domino, roll me over, Romeo. There you go. There's no need for argument. There's no argument at all. And if you never hear from him, that just means he didn't call, or vice versa. That depends on wherever you are. And if you never hear from me, that just means I would rather not. Okay. You're relieved to know that we've got to number 20, so we've just got about a handful to go through. At number 20, another great guitar-based track that I adore. It's called Phoenix, and it was recorded and played by an English band called Wishbone Ash. It was their concert finale before they came back for the encores, and this band were very much in the twin rock guitar group. They weren't really anything like the Allman Brothers, but they did have the two guitar players who had a great ability to play in unison, in tandem. And this particular track, which is a lengthy track, it was the final cut on their debut album, and it builds up very slowly with wah wah, and then it launches you down a fast hill to the finish line. It's pretty classy stuff, and I loved it live. And as it was the sort of last track that they played, you were usually a bit boozed up by the time it came along, and so it was very easy to jog along to it. The lyrics aren't up to much, but I'm going to give them to you. Bird, rise high from the cinders, leave it all behind, all the ruins and the fire. Bird, raise your head from the ashes. Many men lay dead, you can see them like I. Phoenix, rise, raise your head to the sky. Phoenix, rise, raise your head to the sky. Of course, Phoenix, yes, that's a historical artifact or something like that. I'm not that familiar with it. Anyway, it's the last track on the first album by Wishbone Ash. Great stuff. single, but I really got into it on the album. It's by Cat Stevens, and the song is called My Lady de Banville. It was from Mona Bona Jacon, and the lyric is so appealing, and his singing is a standout in front of that gentle acoustic guitar plucking. I assumed that the woman in question was an older woman, possibly a high-class call girl, or perhaps a fantasy. It's got some wacky harmony vocals on it. It was my first real taste of Stevens as an album, and it's still his best, I consider. Some of the history around this time: Stevens contracted TB and required hospitalisation, and he wrote this while he was on a recuperation for a year. He wrote over 40 songs, including this one, and actually he recalled that it was after he met a woman called Patty de Vanville at a party, and she was pursuing a modelling career in the UK at the time, and she gained prominence as an actress. They began dating for a period which lasted more than a year, and after they split, de Banville then returned, and Stevens apparently wanted to invest more in the relationship than the young girl, and so this song is what he wrote to reflect on his feelings at the time. She said on the track that she was very sad, and I just had to be by myself for a while and do what I wanted to do. And she basically sort of suggested that some of the lyric about her was not at all fair, like when he writes, Lady de Vanville, why do you sleep so still? Implying that she was a bit like a dead person. Anyway, interesting thoughts on the lyrical interpretation, and I'm now going to read some of those lyrics. Lady de Vanville, why do you sleep so still? I'll wake you tomorrow and you will be my fill. Yes, you will be my fill, my Lady de Vanville. Why does it grieve me so, but your heart seems so silent? Why do you breathe so low? My Lady de Vanville, why do you sleep so still? I'll wake you tomorrow and you will be my fill. You look so cold tonight, your lips feel like winter, your skin has turned to white. Just an extract, but you get the picture. Maybe he was deeply saddened by the breakup of this relationship. Any songs by the Big Two, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles? Well, I'm going to correct that here with this Beatles song from Let It Be. It's called The Long and Winding Road. It's got the full spectre array of arrangements here, but it sure is impressive. But one would never know Lennon and Harrison performed on it. But anyway, I'm going to give you a selection of the lyric now, and let's get on with it. The long and windy road that leads you to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here, leads me to your door. The wild and windy night that the rain washed away has left a pool of tears crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. And many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know the many ways I've tried. Okay, not the full lyric, but for those who love this song, it will probably bring back many memories. It's a fantastic track. It's from the album Then Play On by Fleetwood Mac. It's, of course, been redone by Santana, and it's Santana's version that I've got on here because it's a 1970 release. Black Magic Woman. The percussion weaves in and out of Carlos's solos making it magnificent. It's a must-hear. It's almost a sacred song. Greg Rowley's piano links to his own vocal impressively, and he wasn't really that much of a singer. It definitely stands alongside Green's original cut, and the outro, of course, leads to Gypsy Queen, which is cute and manically fast. Let's have a little taste of the lyric. Got a black magic woman, got a black magic woman, I've got a black magic woman, got me so blind I can't see. That she's a black magic woman, she's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me, baby, don't turn your back on me, baby. Yes, don't turn your back on me, baby. Stop messing around with your tricks. Don't turn your back on me, baby, you just might pick up my magic sticks. Got your spell on me, baby, you've got your spell on me, baby. Yeah, you've got your spell on me, turning my heart into stone. I need you so bad, magic woman, I can't leave you alone. My next track is the absolutely awesome Move On Up by Curtis Mayfield from his, I think it's his debut album called Curtis. Funky beats exude class on this as he emphasises his racial pride and social responsibility. The horns just load up from the first note, and there's that speedy percussion beats. And I'm going to give you a bit of the vocal. Hush now, child, and don't you cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up towards your destination, though you may find from time to time complication. Bite your lip and take a trip, though there may be wet road ahead, and you cannot slip. Just move on up. For peace you'll find, into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush now, child, and don't you cry. Your folks might understand you. So here we are, the last of the 25. I'll bet you're relieved now. And this is an absolute standout. It's called How Can a Poor Man Stand Such Times and Live? And it's by Ry Cooder. And it's from his first solo album, released in 1970. I first heard this song on the Old Grey Whistle Test, which was a TV music show in the 70s, which sort of gave an opportunity really for artists that were less sort of well known, particularly in the UK, and they played a couple of songs. Great show. And Cooder gets 110% out of this traditional song. His slide guitar work is exceptional, and there's some stirring storytelling. More of that in a minute. As I said, wonderful piece of music. There's some three-piece harmonies that powerhouse the rhythm along. There's a little neat dab of accordion, and I think the track is absolutely tremendous. And I'm going to read the whole lyric now. It's a message about poverty, about democracy failing the less well off, and how people are rather blindfolded to what's really going on. So let's get to that lyric. Okay, let's get started then. Well, the doctor come around with his face all bright, and he says in a little while you'll be all right. And all he gives is a humbug pill, a dose of dope and a great big bill. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Well, there once was a time when everything was cheap, but now prices nearly put a man to sleep. When we get our grocery bill, we just feel like making our will. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Prohibition's good if it is conducted right. There's no sense in shooting a man till he shows flight. Officers kill without a cause, then they complain about the funny laws. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? I remember when dry goods were cheap as dirt. We could take 2 bits and buy a dandy shirt.
Now we pay $10 or more, maybe get a shirt that another man wore. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Well, I used to trade with a man by the name of Gray. Flour was 50 cents for a 24-pound bag. Now it's $1.50 beside. Just like a skinning off a flea from the hide. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Oh, the schools we have today ain't worth a cent, but they see to it that every child is sent. If we don't send every day, we have a hefty fine to pay. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Most all preachers preach for gold and not for souls. That's what keeps a poor man always in a hole. We can hardly get our breath, taxed and schooled and preached to death. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Oh, it's time for every man to be awake. We pay 50 cents a pound when we ask for steak. When we get our package home, a little wad of paper with grizzle and bone. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? That immaculate piece of lyric writing was written by one Alfred Reed. And remind you, this is the version by Ry Cooder on his debut album. So that's it from me. Don't forget your comments. Thanks a lot for listening.